Well, since I've gotten accustomed to my normal spot and we can like talk our shit here, let's go. I'm trying to like figure out a way to get up close. Personal. Okay, so the purpose of today's video, I might be happy because I held a puppy today. There was like a puppy meet and greet and I might get a puppy. I'm not home enough right now to take care of a puppy, but let's really hope that some things pan out for me where I will be able to be home enough to take care of a puppy and we can go through an entire process of me raising a puppy, because growing up, I really wish I would have stuck to this. Like, I was that kid who always said to herself, like, I love animals more than people. And when I think back to every single year, what has held true for me is that I feel like, and I can't even hold you right now, but I honestly believe this. I feel like men are so dangerous in society that women need to stay away from them, and especially Black women. And I don't think forever, but I think for maybe like 5 years, Black women need to just be safe in their apartments with their jobs and just stay away from men. And I mean all men, for just like 5 years, right? Where we have some like concrete data and video footage and blog posts that aren't pandering to men, that aren't talking about men, that aren't pandering to children, where women are just out in the world having lattes, wearing dresses, thinking about thoughts about really anything. They could join book groups, book clubs, they could just sit in the park and drink tea, they could just look at the sky or just breathe air. For a minute, we need to see that. Like that, I feel like that is uncharted territory that we need more content for. So if anyone is wondering what they can make content for, I would say that would be a good starting place. But also, and I wanted to make this video a while ago, and I will kind of make it now, and I will make a longer video about this when I have more time to write things out. But I did another video where I was like, here are ideas for Black girls who are like new content creators about things that they could talk about. I know it seems really simple to make a video that you've seen from someone else and you've seen it be successful and you're like, I should do that. This person was Black, other people watched it, I am Black, therefore I should do it. I think that could be a good route, but I also think that especially if you're trying to be a beauty influencer, I read Vogue today, and every single story that I read, or it's like a Vogue newsletter that's like highlighting all the things that happened today that were in fashion and beauty. And again, every single story I read was about some white woman. There was not one story that was about any person of color or a Black person that was about fashion. And I've grown up watching that every day for years. And there is a huge need, okay, for people to write and talk and blog and highlight Black people who are successful. There is Justine Skye who had like at least 7 to 10 events at Fashion Week this year. She got invited to major shows. I just saw 2 days ago, Coco Jones was at some show at New York Fashion Week. That's major. That is major. If you guys want to see dark skin representation come back, you need to cover that. If you don't, like, they have the spots right now, and those are, how do you say, like, temporary exemplary spots. Like, those are sample spots to try to see how society reacts. When so many of you react in these hater ways that are like, oh, I could do that. No, everyone's not going to get to go to New York Fashion Week. I don't care how great you think you are. Like, those people who went, they earned their spot. They earned their spot. And like, if you care about representation, then you need to show up. This is why I'm like, I keep saying, like, some people might feel like my story is a failure, but I swear to you, I keep talking about this and I'm never gonna shut up about it. Yara Shahidi stealing my story might have been the smartest thing that Holly Weird could have done for really anyone's career, because like, I'm gonna live on either way. Like, I'm gonna keep going with my story. My life is gonna keep going. But like somebody had to get the perks of my hard work, and it's Yara Shahidi. Every single thing I did, she did the opposite thing. And that, like, I didn't even do like the like quote unquote bad thing every time. I just did the unpopular thing. Right? So there's people who did the bad thing and their stories aren't even told, right? Like, or they're told in some way that's like decriminalizing, or literally it was like criminal, or some other way that didn't make mainstream media. As you see, every single thing I talked about, there's always like someone who comes on TikTok now and it turned into a video essay about literally the thing that I went through, and I unpacked with you in literal live video footage. I don't need to make a video essay about something you see me doing in real time. So think about that. There are 3,000 videos at this point. Probably we're working on 4,000 videos on this channel. Go back, do a search my name, search the topic. You'll probably find something that's pretty much in the realm, because I've done a lot. Not the point though. So when we're talking about representation, like I saw that Yara Shahidi, she got another ad that was for like Jean-Paul Gaultier. She's like the main model for it. She got another ad that was with Dior, well, maybe you guys didn't see, but I did a ton of posts where I literally bought the Dior lipstick in the exact color that she recommended, and I just made a bunch of footage with that lipstick. And maybe we can make like another very short video just advertising that lipstick, mostly because like I want to make it very known that the reason I bought that color and the reason I bought that brand is because they used Yara Shahidi. There was no other reason. There are a million sticks I could have bought that are that color, but I bought it and I spent my money and my time like every single thing else that I do. It's all with intention. I wrote the song Abercrombie Sweater because when I was growing up and I had to choose a brand, I chose Abercrombie. That was my favorite brand. And I feel that way today. It's a really great brand. If you are a high schooler and you're trying to find your style, I really feel like Gap or Abercrombie are two brands that you could really explore everything that comes out every season. And if you only wore that, you would have a pretty classic fashion style. So if you're going for like classic fashion, clean girl aesthetics, as you see, you guys never see me on here with any brand name, anything. Like I don't have any brands, I don't have any labels, all I have is stripes or solids. And there was a point in my life where I worked with someone who had been working in fashion and advertising for a very long time and who manicured my look. So my look was already in a particular place. They saw what it was and they literally threw out everything that was like against helping me market myself as being more Olivia, and they said, don't do this, stop wearing this, wear this. And they really explained to me why. There are a lot of really problematic things about that person, but certain things that they did help me with are understanding how to care for my hair. So dear person, you know who you are, thank you for doing that, and introducing me to stripes and solids. That's a real thing. Thank you for doing that. It has helped me so much in my fashion career. It has helped me so much in really branding myself. Because in branding myself, the only thing that you can attribute to me are these solid colors. Like the only colors I have in my wardrobe as I look around are white, black, navy blue, khaki, and gray. I don't have oranges. I have some pink pajamas, one pair of Charter Club. You guys have seen me wear them. That's about it. There aren't other flamboyant colors or name brands that I attach to myself because I am the brand. I am the brand about Black female survival. That is what I stand for. At every phase in my life, it has been about Black female survival. And I will say a major point to me being able to sit here and talk to you about this is me distancing myself from other Black females, which is very sad. I really wish that there were more Black women who listened to my story and critiqued it in a way where they were like, I understand her, or I'm trying to understand her, or I care in some way. And over time, I've just realized that that's just not the case. Like, they truly and honestly don't care, and they probably never will care. And that's not my problem, and it's not your problem. It's nobody's problem. The fact is, like, I really feel like one day the people who need to hear my message will hear my message, even if it's not today. And that's what I want other people. I know there will be like 1 or 2 Black creators who will watch this and be like, oh my God. The reason that you might not be getting the engagement that you want is because someone else is some other Black girl probably is watching your content and just trying to like steal it And instead of like crediting you and citing you and giving like a critique about it and like including you in their content to say, oh, I saw this creator, and including them, which would literally push the entire race and the group forward. For some reason, like Black people in general don't like that, to do that, and especially Black women. So when other groups see this, they're just looking for the one person who's like risen to the top by cutting every other person down to see whatever ideas they spread. Now, usually it's people like Gorilla, people like Cardi B, people like Megan Thee Stallion, who are literally promoting counterculture. So now the face of counterculture is Black, and you have other Black women who are coming on like, we don't like counterculture. Well, where the fuck were you when like other people were making small channels, they were making small videos that didn't have many views, but they were about the anti-counterculture? Why weren't you commenting on Cameron Elise videos? Why haven't you made any critique video or like response video to a Cameron Elise video? Or there's that other girl, she doesn't even make videos anymore. She literally came on and said she doesn't want to talk about Black issues anymore, even though she's a Black woman. Like, girl, like, what the fuck else are you going to talk about? Like, I don't, well, even when I think about that, I heard her and I was like, oh, that would be great. But it's like, it seems like where she grew up, she lives in a Black town among Black people. And she's like, I don't want to talk about Black issues anymore. Like, okay, girl, like, I don't know what other issues you have. Like, if you don't have other experiences, like, what the fuck else are you going to talk about? Like, are you wishful thinking about videos you see on TikTok? That's another problem. Like, people really feel like it's okay to, like, talk about someone else's experience that you see online and trivialize it and, like, criticize it, right? But the weird part about that is, like, if you were actually living in that community and you were to, like, voice those opinions to the people who you're actually talking about and then see the way that they react to you, you'd see how brutal it was, and therefore you actually might modify your opinions a little bit. This is why I continue to say I have moderate perspectives, because I've had that checkmate reality where I might feel these, like, extreme ways about Black groups or white groups or whatever other group. And when I voice these literal antagonistic opinions to them, they do not take them kindly. Like, they almost start, like, hate groups against you. Like, they start stalking you. They do all type of shit that makes you be like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to have people hate you. And it causes you to, like, rethink, like, how you want to live in society. Like, do you want to live in a society where you know that the other people hate you? Probably not. Probably not. But that doesn't mean that you need to silence yourself. I think you just need to over-explain, in a sense, because you don't want to trivialize your own opinions to where you stop talking about the reasons that you feel the way you feel, because those are real. But you also don't want to, like, say things in such a way where you are so open and so blatant and so disrespectful that it is basically also saying, like, you don't give a shit about other people's opinions, which is what I have literally done in the past and something that I've had to learn from. So even though the way that I vocalized my feelings were honest, I really felt that way, it was brutal because it was just so hurtful to other groups. It showed no empathy toward them. And at the time, I felt like, why should I show any empathy toward them at all when they showed no empathy toward me? But for some reason, there's this expectation that at all times, Black women are supposed to be bigger and better and do more and be nicer and kinder and smarter and all the things. But I don't know. I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that Black women have the capacity to do that. But the point of this video, the theme of the story that I want to come on tonight and convey to you guys, this is for Black women, just a message for Black women. You need to start where some other Black woman finished. I feel like my entire life's work could be built off of bell hook. Where bell hooks ended, I could start. Like, where Khadija Mumboe is starting now is kind of like where bell hooks ended. There's a whole other generation of activists, of women, of Black thought leaders who can come and look at the society in which we live now, exercising their own rights, talking about their own lived experiences, and continue on where bell hooks stopped, because she did a lot. She did a lot. She had a whole series at Eugene Lang that was talking about, like, the problematic aspects of Beyonce. She had a talk, it was like, is this my body anyway, or something, or it was just critiquing all of, like, Beyonce's hypersexuality. And I feel like most of you haven't seen that talk, and you should go watch that talk. I will link that talk in the description box. It's a whole series. It's like 7 talks. Those talks definitely changed the way that I thought about, like, my womanness, my blackness, my femaleness in the world. The other thing that I want to convey, which is something I feel like it's taken me a while to understand, although I'm an individual, although I'm a black person, although I am alive, being a woman is a marginal experience that you kind of have to prioritize amongst other things. And when I'm saying that, the reason that I'm saying that is because other, like, men of all different racial groups, of all different social classes, will literally like dial in, hone in, like, if they see you as a target, if they see it as a possibility that they can target you, they will. And they will take things from you. They will take your confidence. They will take your money. They will take your chastity. They will take your family. They will take your children. They will take every single thing that you have, your reputation, your career, your integrity. They will take your fun, your joy, and your life. There's actually a story, I think, so here's a funny, it's not actually a funny story, it's a true story. So there's a person that I know who has this fascinating life, but I want to tell you guys the story of her sister. Her sister struggled quite a lot with addiction, and her life ended basically after she was like a prostitute for a while and she had overdosed from drugs. Now, here's where this story turns vile. Police found her dead in a garage with a man who had been raping her dead body for 24 hours. There's an alive male who found her dead. I think he knew her, like, because obviously she was like already strung out before she died. So most likely he contributed to her becoming more strung out so that she would die, so that he could rape her. And he proceeded to rape her for 24 hours. Now, I don't know how police found it. It's something that we're actually trying to investigate a little bit more, to unpack the story, to like write about this a little bit more. But that's a real thing that happened. That man is now in jail, right? Like, he's been imprisoned for doing what he did. But think about the fact that he did that. He really did that. That's a real story. And you tell me how manipulative as a male you would have to be to seep that low. You tell me if you've ever heard of a woman doing something like that. You tell me how safe men are. Just something to think about. This is actually we're actually working on writing a book kind of about this woman's life because it's so fucking interesting. And I hope to share more stories about her life with you because this is fascinating. But seriously, like, think about that story and the truth. Like, I'll actually, maybe every day as I find out more information about the story and exactly what happened, we can share a little bit more about the context of that story. But that really happened. Anyway, stay tuned.